In the grand tapestry of time, Earth has been through hell and back. It's been pummeled by asteroids, smashed into by rogue planets, frozen over more than once, and ruled by creatures so bizarre they seem straight out of alien mythology. Sometimes when you look at how fragile life is and how violent the cosmos can be, it feels like a miracle that this blue planet still exists at all. To understand how Earth not only survived, but evolved into the extraordinary home we know today, we have to turn the clock back, way back, past humanity, past the dinosaurs, past even the oceans. We must go to the very beginning, the birth of a solar system. Roughly 4.5 billion years ago, what we now call the solar system didn't exist. Instead, a swirling cloud of gas and dust floated silently in a remote corner of the Milky Way. Then something happened. Maybe a nearby supernova? Maybe gravitational turbulence? But something triggered that cloud to collapse inward. As it did, it began to spin, flatten, and heat up. Temperatures soared as gravity compressed the core. Hydrogen atoms began to collide, fuse, and release energy. In a sudden, radiant birth, our sun ignited. Around this newborn star, leftovers from that cosmic collapse started to clump together. Tiny grains stuck to each other. Those clumps became rocks. Those rocks became planetesimals. And eventually, these swirling bodies collided and merged to form the planets. One of them, still molten and chaotic, would one day be called Earth. But this early Earth was no paradise. It was a molten sphere of rock, a living volcano that constantly erupted and reshaped its own surface. The atmosphere, if you could even call it that, was a toxic soup of gases. Hydrogen sulfide, methane, and carbon dioxide filled the sky. No oceans, no air to breathe, no life. Then came a catastrophic event that changed everything. A Mars-sized body named Theia slammed into the Earth at an angle, an unimaginable impact that nearly destroyed the planet. But from this chaos came creation. Debris from the collision was thrown into orbit. Gravity pulled the pieces together, and from this fiery wreckage, our moon was born. As the Earth cooled, volcanic activity continued, but something else began to form: clouds. The planet's surface temperature dropped enough for water vapor to condense, and rain began to fall. It poured for millions of years, filling the deepest parts of Earth's rocky crust and carving out what would become the oceans. Slowly, a water-covered planet emerged from the primordial heat. And that water, simple as it may seem, was magic. Because where there's water, there's the potential for life. Somewhere around 3.7 billion years ago, life did appear. Not towering beasts or wriggling fish, but microscopic organisms. Tiny, single-celled life began to thrive in the shallow oceans. They fed on the minerals of Earth and slowly began to transform their environment. It was the start of biology, chemistry, and evolution on a planetary scale. Eventually, a special kind of microbe evolved, cyanobacteria. These tiny cells figured out how to use sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into energy. In the process, they released oxygen as a byproduct. Slowly, very slowly, Earth's atmosphere began to change. What had once been a suffocating haze of carbon and sulfur was now becoming breathable. But this transformation wasn't without consequences. The increased oxygen and reduced carbon dioxide triggered a global drop in temperatures. Earth plunged into its first major ice age. Massive glaciers crept across the surface, locking much of the planet in a frozen state. Entire oceans may have been capped with ice. For a while, it seemed life would stall before it ever had a chance to flourish. But life adapted. It endured. As time passed, continents began to rise from the watery depths. The first land masses, called cratons, formed and merged into early supercontinents like Valbara. These were primitive stretches of rocky land, far smaller than any modern continent, but they set the stage for everything to come. Rodinia followed, one of the largest supercontinents to ever exist. Its formation triggered tectonic activity that reshaped the planet's geology, and when it eventually broke apart, it reshuffled the climate and oceans once again. Each time the continents shifted, ecosystems were born and destroyed, and life found new ways to evolve. Then came the Cambrian explosion. About 540 million years ago, something astonishing happened. Life, which had remained mostly microscopic for billions of years, exploded into complexity. In what amounts to a blink in geological time, the oceans were suddenly filled with animals, many of them unlike anything alive today. Creatures with shells, spines, legs, and eyes began to roam the seafloor. Trilobites, the iconic armored invertebrates, became Earth's first global citizens. But evolution never moves in a straight line. Around 440 million years ago, the climate shifted again. Temperatures dropped, sea levels fell, and Earth experienced its first mass extinction. Entire groups of marine life vanished. It was a sobering reminder that while life is resilient, it is not invincible. Even so, life rebounded. Forests appeared. The first trees took root, transforming the atmosphere once again and stabilizing ecosystems. Amphibians emerged and began to colonize the land. By now, Earth was starting to resemble the planet we know today. Roughly 250 million years ago, the continents had once again joined together into a massive supercontinent, Pangaea. But this was also a time of great danger. The Great Dying, Earth's most catastrophic extinction event, struck hard. Driven by volcanic activity, runaway greenhouse gases, and toxic oceans, this event wiped out nearly 90% of all species. Life, once more, teetered on the edge. From the ashes of that extinction rose a new class of animals, the dinosaurs. For 150 million years, they ruled the planet. Towering sauropods like Argentinosaurus walked the land, while Tyrannosaurus rex terrorized the late Cretaceous forests. The planet teemed with life. Birds evolved from feathered dinosaurs. Mammals remained in the shadows, waiting for their moment. That moment came 66 million years ago. A massive asteroid struck the Earth near modern-day Mexico. The impact was apocalyptic. Fires ignited across continents. Ash and debris filled the sky. Sunlight disappeared. Plants died. The food chain collapsed. And the dinosaurs, once the masters of Earth, were gone. But mammals survived. They were small, adaptable, and ready to take over. As the planet healed, mammals spread out. Some grew larger, some became predators. Some, like primates, developed greater intelligence. 6 million years ago, the earliest human ancestors began to walk upright in the forests and grasslands of Africa. They still looked like apes, but were already on a path that would change the planet forever. These early hominins eventually developed tools, controlled fire, formed communities, and learned to speak. Fast forward to about 10,000 years ago, and something extraordinary happened. Humans began farming. For the first time, they settled in one place. They built homes. They cultivated crops. Civilization was born. In just a few thousand years, we went from tribal nomads to industrial societies. The last 250 years, in particular, have been transformative. The Industrial Revolution reshaped humanity. We harnessed electricity, built machines, and connected continents. Our cities grew. Our technology exploded. By 1804, the human population reached 1 billion. Just over a century later, it doubled. Today, more than 8 billion people call Earth home. We've built satellites that orbit the planet. We've sent humans to the moon. We've mapped the genome and unlocked the atom. But all of this progress has come at a cost. Today, Earth faces a new kind of danger, one not caused by an asteroid or volcanic eruption, but by us. Climate change is accelerating. Glaciers are melting, sea levels are rising, ecosystems are collapsing, species are vanishing. And the stability we've relied on for thousands of years is beginning to unravel. The story of Earth is not just a tale of survival through cosmic violence. It's a story of transformation, of rebirth, of life finding a way even when everything seems lost. But now, for the first time, the challenge isn't coming from space or nature. It's coming from within. What happens next is up to us. Will we be the next chapter in Earth's history, or the last? Stay curious, stay inspired, and if you enjoy diving deep into the wonders of time, space, and possibility, don't forget to subscribe to Deep Space Digest, where the universe is always just one question away.